So we've probably all seen somebody who thinks he has a magic finger. Now, what is that, you may ask? Well, this is, I think, is when somebody is just looking for direction for his life. And so he goes to the Bible, he takes out his finger and he puts it down and he says, that's what I have to do. You know, and this isn't really a very good strategy. So here, for example, it could be, I look at this phrase and it says, put out into deep water and lower your nets for a catch. So what does that mean? Does that mean I have to go looking for a lake? That's not the way we should be reading the Bible. So today I want to talk a little bit about reading the Bible. Okay, so Brother John, when you open up the Bible, what is it that you do?
Well, usually the first thing I do is to invoke the Holy Spirit, because I think it's important to remember that even though the Bible has, and every book of the Bible has its specific context and history and the different characters, and it's important to understand what all their realities are, we have to realize that it's nonetheless a living word. And so regardless of our time, our age, or our situation in our life, God always wants to use the Bible to speak to our particular situation. So first, I think it's always important to invoke the Holy Spirit and ask for His light and His grace. But then after you've done that and you're diving into the text and you're going to read the text, it's important that we know how to listen to God's voice. So I don't know if you want to speak to that, Father.
That's a really good point. And I think that, you know, it's a challenge to learn how to pray with the Bible. And somebody who can give us a good clue about how to do that is Saint Isidore of Seville, because he says that, you know, when we're praying and when we're speaking, well, then that's us praying to God. But when we read the Bible, it's God speaking to us. And I've been amazed that there's been so many times in my own prayer where you take the Bible and you read it slowly, reflexively, but you're really in a place where you're listening for God's voice, and He does speak to you through the text. And that really is an amazing experience that I hope that we can all make. So now what should we do, Brother John?
Well, I think after that, there's 3 points that can really help us to know where to go from there. And the first is that we listen. So while we're reading the text, we're giving God that silence so that He can speak to our hearts. And then after that, we should seek to understand, to reflect what is it that God was saying to me through this text, and maybe to go a step further and to seek to understand the passage more, maybe by asking a priest or someone who might know the text a little better to understand the text itself. And then most importantly, I'd say to take notes, because God is leading each one of us through a spiritual journey. And if we're speaking to Him every day or whenever, and we're using the Bible, it's important that we take notes so that we can go back and see how we've been progressing and how God has been leading us in that spiritual journey.
So thanks for joining me for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would invite you to like and subscribe to the channel. God bless.